is not a doctor. He's not an expert. He's not even a good person. The views, opinions, advice, and humor of Jim Norton does not reflect those of any doctor, of SiriusXM, of Opie Radio, or anyone else. They are solely those of Jim Norton, Lyle Chipperson, Edgar Mellencamp, Paul Hargis, and whoever else lives in that chinless head of his. If any of this advice goes wrong, you are the asshole who called a comedian instead of a doctor.
An icon in comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now, 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is the Jim Norton Show.
Friends. Hello. It certainly is the Jim Norton Show. I'm sitting in my apartment. It's nice and neat now. I always feel better when I have a nice, neat apartment. I feel like my life is a little more together. Clutter fucks me up mentally. So that's one thing you can do for yourself while I'm itching my ear. Is just kind of clean up. It helps a little bit. You know, it doesn't help if you have stage 4 leukemia. I don't think leukemia goes in stages. Someone asked me on Twitter, have I ever banged Rihanna? No, I didn't. You mean the singer? No. We jerked off together in the car once. She wanted to have sex, but I said no. I would not be a party to that. And we just jerked off together, and it was a lot of fun. And Kyle wants to know if Chip will ever have an advice show. He's a great comic, very witty. I already do. People just ask me questions, and I just fucking spit out jokes. Laughter's the best medicine. Okay, let's see. Jacob in Staten Island, very biblical name. You sent the wrong text to the wrong girl. Oh, Jacob, we've all done it. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jim, how's it going? I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
First of all, I have to agree with cleaning up sometimes when there's nothing else to do. It's like therapy.
Yeah, it really is, right?
Yes, definitely. I feel better. I feel like my thoughts are more sorted out because there's no message, and then you feel less cluttered in your mind as well, you know?
Yep.
All right, so here's my thing. I'll give you a little background fast. I called you a couple months back. I was telling you about the strip club, how I was trying to like stay away from that,
Sure.
interact with, how I wanted to interact with more real girls and just keep like persisting in doing that and not getting into that. I don't know if you remember me.
Vaguely.
Yeah, so basically it's this. I stayed away from that. I did good with that. And I dated some girls, and I just started dating a girl for a month, and things were going well, and I was getting closer faster because I'm a douchebag, but she finally started to get closer to me, and within 2 days of that, I sent her a text that I was texting this girl from this website, and I not only sent her a text of me, like, telling her I'm going to hang out with the other girl, but a picture of our conversation. So I sent 2 horrible texts to the wrong person.
Wow.
And now she's pretty much, like, mad at me, but still talking to me.
How long are you dating this new girl?
For about a month.
Okay. Are you willing to not talk to the other girl?
I actually met up with that girl anyway just to see what would happen, and she turned out to be a busybody that seemed like she was into everybody else's business, so there's going to be no me and her.
Meaning, maybe you could tell this girl, look, I've been single for a while. I hadn't met this other girl. I fucked up. I did something really stupid, and I'm sorry, and it won't happen again. And like, you are early enough in the relationship, and it was only texting where you may be able to kind of get away with it and just eat a little bit of shit and say you're sorry. But that happens, dude. I've done that. You know, I've made those mistakes. I think a lot of people have. You got to be so careful. So I think if you're new enough in the relationship, you might be able to survive it. But just tell her, look, I fucked up and I'm really sorry, and it will not happen again.
Yeah, I was basically on about 2 hours worth of sleep, and I was at my job texting like an idiot, and that's why it happened in the first place.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whatever the reason is, it's happened to all of us. So that's what I would do, dude. Just be really careful and, you know, just try not to do that again, all right?
Yeah, I just mean like kissing ass and being nicer since then, and it seems to be making things better, but now I got to lay back a little, you know?
Yeah, you fucked up. So now just be nice.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Jim. I'm a big fan of the show, man.
Thank you little flower. Ashley in Boston, your fiance's on dating sites. Oh, no. How long have you been with this fella?
So, hi. How are you?
I'm good, sweetie. How are you?
I'm good. So we have been together about 5 years, lived together about 3 years. Actually just got engaged Christmas. And this issue has come up a couple times where I have caught him, like, texting other women, and now this morning, I did the thing you're not supposed to do. His computer is open. I said, oh, look at the history. And there's a dating site on there, and, I'm crushed.
No, the thing you're not supposed to do is leave your computer open. You didn't do anything wrong. Rookie made the mistake. And maybe he wanted to get caught, because I got busted on an instant message like that. Maybe he's panicking because you're going to get married. Sometimes people fucking freak out when the big commitment is coming. Has he fucked anybody, do you think? Or seen anybody?
Well, that's the other thing, too. And, from what I have seen when I've read all these things, he's looking for people in other areas of the country. I really think it is just sexual from what I've seen. And I know, I've seen your stand-up. You're always like, this kind of stuff isn't really a big deal. It's not actual cheating, but it still really hurts. And I don't know. I'm just looking for advice kind of from your point of view. It just, how do you separate it? Maybe, is it just sex? Am I being stupid? I don't know.
No, you're not being stupid. No, nobody wants to realize that somebody has been doing something like that. You're not stupid. But does he know you know?
We've had the conversation before. He doesn't know about this morning. So that's what I'm doing tonight when I get home from work. So, yeah, just looking for some advice. How do I confront? I don't want to leave, but I don't want to be a doormat. What do I do?
Well, did you search his email and stuff like that too?
Yes.
What'd you find?
Well, I found that he has another email account that I couldn't get into.
Okay.
And
yep. I got busted with one of those too.
Yeah.
I got. And I tell you one thing, I still wake up in a cold sweat thinking of what would have happened if I had used my regular password, because my girlfriend knew it, and she said to me, because she was a tough girl, she's like, "You're lucky you fucking changed your password, because there was a lot of bad stuff in there." So I'm really happy that I didn't. Did you write down the name of the email address?
Yes, I did.
Did you ever think of, you don't know where he's been using? That's probably what he's been using for the dating site.
Yeah, and I Googled that, and it didn't come up, and I Googled his username on the dating site. Nothing came up. So maybe it's just, that's my question, I guess. Like, do guys do this, just look, and I shouldn't be worried, or should I be worried? Yeah,
you ought to change the password on the dating site.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Maybe change the password on the dating site to one that only you know. I don't know if you even tell him you know yet. Maybe if you log on in a day or two and you just see if there's any more messages. No, I'm just being a snooping twat. You could see the history in the dating site. Were there a lot of people he's been talking to?
No, it looked like, from what I could see, he only sent like one actual message, and it was really mostly just looking. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just a curiosity thing or if it is whatever turned anything serious. I don't know what to make of it.
You might want to start the conversation off with, how was work? And he'll say, I was tired. You left your computer open. Now, the computer I'm on right now is my work computer. So if someone said you left your computer open, I'd say, what'd you do? Read my fucking chip script or look at my... But if that other computer was open, I would literally fucking throw myself down an elevator shaft. Okay. So maybe you tell him that the computer was open and he'll know he's in trouble, and just see how honest he's willing to be with you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Why am I saying I'll talk to you soon? I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk to you soon unless you want to, maybe meet on a dating site. All right, forget it, Ashley. I'm not helping. Good luck, sweetheart. But make sure you see what he says. And, it could be one, but you just got to talk to him. I don't know the guy. You know him. So, but it could just be a curiosity.
Okay.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Hi, Joe in California. Has a son with Down syndrome, and you and your wife argue about you using the word retard. Okay. Not with him, but with other situations. Hi, Joe.
Hi. Hey,
okay.
Fuck yeah, Jimmy. Huge fan.
Okay.
As you mentioned, I do. I'm happily married with my wife. Have two incredible boys. Our youngest one, born this past year, has Down syndrome.
Now, did you know beforehand or no?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. So you kind of prepared for it.
We're happy with it. We embrace it. But my entire life, I've used phrases like, "I can't believe this retard is cutting me off on the road," or "I'm talking to some retard on the phone." And it doesn't make my wife happy. But reason I'm calling you is I love your comedy, and I think I'm a common soul in believing that the words you say versus words that are meant maliciously and hurtful are different.
You know, you're right, and I also understand why your wife wouldn't want you saying retard if your son has Down syndrome. Like, you know, it's a weird thing with words like that. Like, there are times, like, I always buck against political correctness, and I hate it. I hate language policing, but I don't hate somebody voluntarily not saying a word. Like, there are people that don't like the word retard. I use it less than I used to because so many people have talked about it. Like, if, you know, do I ever use it? Sure. Like, this guy's a retard or whatever. But if I saw a retarded person, when I was a teenager, I would say, hey, there's a retard over there. But now, at my age now, I wouldn't even think of saying that. Like, I really wouldn't. Not even to be politically correct. But it's just like, nah, man, that really kind of hurts people. And I don't want to be a scumbag about it. And there's no comedic value in me saying that. So, you know what I mean? So if you feel that it's, like, if it's your wife and it's your kid and it's going to cause a problem in the house, like, you could firmly plant your feet in the thing, but I don't know. You might want to reconsider.
Yeah, it's not causing a problem. I can just tell she doesn't like it. But like you were saying, I mean, if anyone ever called my son a retard in a negative way, I'd be the first to step up. But sure. I think of it mentally as they're two different things. It's sort of like, you know, using comedy to reference something that's politically incorrect.
You're right. But, like, let's just say you couldn't have kids and you adopted a black kid. Not that you use the word nigger, but would you say stuff like that in the house? Like, that might be hurtful to the kid. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I look, if I don't have any children, and I certainly don't know what it's like to raise someone with Down syndrome, but I imagine it's hard enough to help the kid feel normal. So, you know, again, parents with kids with Down syndrome may agree or disagree. I don't know. Personally, if you could tell she doesn't like it, it's not a big enough deal to use the word retard. Like, it's almost like it's not an important enough word to not give up. Like, you know what I mean? Right. How often do most people say it? I use it once in my hour act, and that's just because it's the only word that fit. And it's about a girl dressing a certain way, like, you know, has nothing to do with mentally ill people. I don't know, man. If I were you, I would probably consider giving it up, especially if it makes your wife unhappy. It's going to be hard enough raising, you know, your son like that, I guess, with all the different stuff that you're going to have to do. So why make it any harder?
No. I'm with you. I appreciate it. I think I'm thinking I hate censoring myself, but appreciate your feedback.
We all censor ourselves. You know, again, freedom of speech and saying what you want, I strongly believe in. But again, hasn't there been times, like, is your boss a male or a female?
Male.
Have you ever wanted to say to your boss, you're a cocksucker? You're a fucking... Of course, but you can't do it. Like, no matter how annoyed I was at Scott Greenstein years ago, I was annoyed at him at times. I never walked into his office and cursed at him. Never. Because I couldn't. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I was going to say, luckily I have a good relationship with my boss, and I think I have called him a cocksucker.
But you know what I'm saying, though. There are times.
I'm with you.
If a cop pulls you over, sometimes you want to go, wow, you're a fucking shithead, but you can't do that. So we all self-censor at times, not because, again, we're not going to get arrested or because we're going to get fired, but sometimes it just makes life a little bit easier. And if you're not sacrificing anything by self-censoring, meaning if the concept of what you're saying is not going away and you're not changing who you are or what you believe in, then it's not a big deal once in a while just to make your life easier.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, Jim. And like I said, huge fan.
Okay, buddy. Thank you very much. And good luck, all right?
Thanks.
Okay. Let's see. Had sex with your wife's best friend, and now she's trying to blackmail him. Oh, no. Hot Texas. What's up?
Oh, man. Going through some shit right now. We've been legally separated now for about 8 months to a year, somewhere around there. And we had to meet at the bar about 3 or 4 months ago and came back to my house and we had sex. And now she's trying to blackmail me and everything else, want me to pay her, you know, money a month or give her a lump sum and shit like that. And I'm kind of figuring out, like, would it be easier to just tell her to fuck off and tell her or just get it done?
Wait, hold on. She wants a lump sum of money every month?
Yeah, she's like, you know, pay me $1,000 a month, and I won't keep my mouth shut.
Chances are, what a shitty friend she is, and person, but I don't know how to tell you that, dude. The advice let me tell you, there's a book called The Gift of Fear. Now, I've recommended this book many times. It's by a guy named Gavin DeBecker, and he deals with stalkers and violence and how to deal with compulsive or obsessive people who won't leave you alone. And there's different ways to deal with it. If she's trying
to, I'm not calling the cops calling the cops there that she's trying to blackmail me for, whatever else. But I mean,
your wife would probably find out. If she calls the cops, your wife would. Now, would your wife? Do you really don't want your wife to find out?
I mean, we're going through divorce right now. I mean, it's sense. I mean, we're separated, and
so why do you? Let me ask you. Why do you care if she knows?
Because legality issues with adultery and.
Okay, let me ask you. How far into the divorce are you?
We haven't really started. We've been legally separated for about 8 months to a year.
Well,
I mean, that's going to really fuck up my chances with we have a 2-year-old daughter and everything else, and committing adultery and everything else. So
let me ask you this. Again, you want to talk to someone, maybe an attorney, but I don't know what the legalities are of taping someone, but is there a way you can get her on tape trying to blackmail you? It's a fucking crime she's committing. And then the idea is, okay, you're going to fuck me up in the divorce, and I'm going to call the fucking police. So if you want to do that, I'd prefer you didn't, but I'm prepared if you do. So then she has to say, A, I'm not going to get the money because he's recorded me, and B, I might go to jail. Or at least there'd be a police involvement, and everybody will know I fucked my best friend's husband. So that would be my suggestion. Again, if someone legally knows that that's a dumb idea, then, talk to someone who knows legal shit. But personally, I would consider doing that. I would consider recording her asking you for money.
Well, I mean, I have all of her texts saved on the phone, so that's how I was trying to give, say if I go to an attorney and just sell the text and everything else, what she said.
Oh, you make sure you screen cap the texts and save them just in case you lose your phone.
Oh, yeah, I sent them all to my email. Yeah. Okay.
Well, how has she phrased it?
She was just saying this, hey, look, if you don't want your wife to know about what happened between us the other night, I think, my car note should be paid, or I should get some kind of compensation unless I'm going to tell her.
And have you responded?
Oh, I was like, wow, that came out of nowhere. And that's pretty much it. This happened yesterday.
Well, here's what happened to me. Again, totally different circumstances. I'm a pig when I text. I fantasize about a lot of dirty stuff. I've done a lot of dirty stuff. So there was one girl who I had actually paid her for some kind of sexual thing. And the amount of dirty fucking text messages we sent back and forth were astronomical. Really, really, hardcore dirty stuff. Taboo. I mean, nothing that terrible, but just perverted fantasies.
Right.
But it was stuff I literally hadn't done. And even if I had done, who cares? It wasn't a crime. It was just, my life. So one day we're talking, and she knew me, but it was a sex thing. She didn't necessarily know who I was. So she writes me and she goes, I need some money, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, well, you're going to have to send it to me, or I got your number. Now I'm going to find out your address and go to your company and email them all your fantasies. And, I wrote her back. I said, first of all, everybody who knows me knows I'm a pervert. So feel free to do that. And I said, and also you've made the mistake of trying to blackmail me via text message, which is a crime. Right. And then she wrote, well, I wouldn't do it, but somebody might. I'm like, look, it's up to you, whatever you do. And then I let her off the hook a little bit. I said, neither one of us is thinking clearly right now. Why don't we both just calm down? We'll talk another time. I didn't leave it with the challenge like a knife to her throat. I basically let her know what was going to happen and then said, hey, look, neither one of us is thinking clearly. Let's not argue. And I let her go, okay, maybe we both cool down. So the next day she wrote back and apologized. She's like, that's not like me, because she didn't want me sending it to the fucking cops. So maybe you could do something like that too, letting her know you have her text messages, but without threatening her, saying, look, I don't want to go through all that. Yeah, like if you try to blackmail me, I'm going to go to the police. My divorce won't go well and you're going to get arrested. Say, look, neither one of us wants that. Why don't we just walk away as friends and forget about it? Maybe something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But, again, talk to a lawyer first, dude, because I don't know what the fuck. All right?
Sounds good. Hey, come to Houston soon, man. Can't wait to see you.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Bye.
Let's see here. Dave in Mass has been, I'm sorry. Dave in Mass, you're next. Adam in New York. I'm sorry. You've been having a hard time maintaining a rod using a condom now that you're single. I fucking hear you, dude. What's up?
What's going on, Jimmy?
Can't keep your fucking pecker hard, right?
Fuck yeah, cockfucker.
Yeah, sock cucker. Yeah, I've definitely had that happen. How long you been single?
So basically, I got out of it was about a little over 7-year relationship that happened about last July.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was it was kind of an interesting thing. It was like kind of mutual, but kind of not. It was just a fucked up kind of thing. But after that, it was kind of like, all right, well, this is the first time I've been single in quite some time now because I'm 30 right now, so that was pretty much a big majority of my 20s right there. So I started doing this whole like dating website thing and stuff like that, just to like put myself out there and have fun. And basically, like anytime I brought a chick back, it was like immediately, even like when the fucking thought of a fucking rubber came into my brain, it was just like,
yeah, I definitely understand that. Sure.
So I'm kind of wondering, like, I don't even know, like where to go from here. Like, how do I just fucking get that shit out of my head? Like, obviously it's a fucking mental thing, but like, I mean, fucking without a fucking condom is just the absolute fucking best, and everybody fucking knows this. So it's like, why would I find, obviously, the fucking, I don't want any fucking diseases or a fucking face, or fucking, I just don't even fucking know what to do now, because it's like, all right, well, I'll fucking, I'll do what I have to do, but at the same time, like, you better fucking be ready for big disappointment.
Yeah, one way that I've had problems with condoms, and one way to help, they always talk about the bridge technique. Like, one way to do it is you tell a girl might not be freaked out if you're having a little bit of a rod problem. If you're like, look, I was in a relationship for all these years. I have no diseases, but now I'm wearing condoms, so it's a little hard for me to get used to. A woman might be understanding about that. So telling her that this might happen, say, look, I'm struggling with this because it's been so many years. She'll appreciate the fact that you're really trying to wear condoms. And B, she might be very willing to work with you, and she'll kind of like that you haven't been out fucking a whole shitload of people. So the idea of your rod.
Hold on, nobody said I wasn't doing that though.
Are you fucking a lot of people?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of been like an every weekend thing. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. How long you been single?
Since like last July.
Oh, okay. But again, in her mind, you could just say, I'm coming out of a 7-year relationship,
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not telling her that I'm fucking every chicken.
Yeah, this is only about what you tell her. You're preparing her that there might be some trouble. And then if it starts to happen, you're like, yeah, having a hard time. See if she'll suck your dick in the rubber, or see if she'll suck it and put the rubber on a little bit while she's doing it. There's different ways to do it. It's really hard to get used to a rubber. And then maybe you both get disease test results, and then maybe you can bang her without one. I give terrible condom advice. I always say caution to the wind, and then, throw it out the window. But a friend of mine whose name I will not mention would talk about hooking his thumb in it while he fucked and actually taking it off. Which was really, really crazy. And I would always say, Anthony, don't do that. Oh, wait, I slipped with his name. Yeah. So, I would just try to get them to suck it and put it on for you. That's how hookers do it. All right.
No doubt, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Good luck with your fucking pecker, dude. All right. Now we go to Adam in New York. You've been having a hard time maintaining. Oh, that's you again. Who was I just going to? Oh, Dave in Mass. Sorry. You see things on Facebook that make you think your girl might be cheating. Oh, no. What's up, Dave?
I can just call that last guy a fag.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jimmy, you gave me advice last week on to quit smoking, and I'm 48 hours with no cigarettes. The gum is what's been working for me.
Oh, okay, great, man. Yeah, that works for a lot of people. Good for you, bro.
So I got to it a little bit last week. I got a girl who's got major head problems, daddy issues, everything else like that, who sort of cut me off from Facebook and everything else. Confronted her about a month ago about all these guys, leaving smileys and flowers on her Facebook. She said, no, you're the only one. We were never technically in a relationship. We weren't official or anything like that. She's sort of giving me the brush off, and I want to know if I should give her the heave-ho. I know there's a lot more to the story, but, have you ever been attached to someone just for sex instead of the relationship, but you still think that you're chasing a relationship?
Absolutely. And okay. Madonna whore, I like this one for that one for this. Yeah. And then there's the times where I convince myself, and again, this was advice that, the person who helped me when I was newly sober, my sponsor told me, if you think you really like a girl,
right,
and you want to call her, jerk off, and then after you blow your load, see if you really want to call her. Most times I don't. Sometimes you kind of do. But, like my ex-girlfriend, I would have, as soon as we came, of course I wanted to talk to her. But that's how you know if it's more than just sex. But yeah, man, I've lied to myself a lot of times thinking I was in love. Sometimes I just want whatever element's missing. Because again, part of it is I like to hunt. So part of it is if me and a girl are in love, I want dirty sex. If a girl's a piece of shit pig with me and wants to drop a log on my chest, then I just want her to hold my hand and call me sweetie. You know what I mean? There's no rhyme or reason to, exactly what I want. So if it's a bad scene, let her go.
And were you just chasing and chasing and chasing till you found out what the person was really like, and you're like, oh Christ, I'm bored with this. I got to go on to the next one. That's
happened too. That's absolutely happened too. Any combination of scenarios where you can fuck things up, I've definitely done. But
and do you see it coming, or is it just, all of a sudden, like, you leave your computer open like that last girlfriend's dude did a couple callers ago? Do you make it so you get caught yourself?
I have in the past. You know what I mean? Deep down I have. Because, I know as much as my sex addiction has caused me to be a liar, I'm really not a liar. I really don't like to lie, and there's a part of me that always feels guilty about it, even when I know I'm getting away with it. A part of me always hates when I do it. So, I think sometimes I think I see it coming a long time in advance.
All right. So the final thing is, she said, give me my space, give me my space. And it's very tough to do. I drove by her house a couple of days ago. I saw a truck in there that didn't look familiar or whatever. But as far as texting and Facebook, I've left it alone, waiting to see if, she really has feelings for me and all this other shit. Is there a timetable for that? Or is it just, see what else you can find in the meantime?
Well, why would you hang on to it, dude? You already know the answer. Okay. You already know the answer. She's told you the answer. I want space. You drove by her house. There's a truck in the driveway. You see that guys are leaving her. She's probably seeing other guys. Maybe she knows she can have you, so she's like not as into it. Sometimes when you know you can have something, you leave it there on the side and go out and enjoy shit, then come back for that thing you left on the side. So maybe you should just walk away and not contact her. Fuck her. Let her have what she wants. She wants her freedom. Give it to her.
Yeah, you're telling me what all my other friends are. I don't want to believe it's true that she's, doing something else on the side, but it seems inevitable.
You probably just like fucking her. She's hot. I hear you. But you move on, because then someone else is what's going to happen is someone else is probably going to date her and fall in love and then have to deal with this shit. You're not in love. You're just being a little possessive about the pussy you like.
Yeah, and she's a head case too.
Of course she is. Of course she is. I mean, so you're getting off easy. You got to fuck her, and now you don't have to marry her.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Jimmy. Hey, I appreciate it. Everybody should listen to you about advice to quit addictions, because it's absolutely true.
Thank you. You know who should really listen to me? I should listen to me, because I'm really good at spitting out this drivel. But when it comes to keep my own hand off my rotten dick, I'm the fucking strikeout kid. I can't stop tugging it. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, one more thing about the girl with the guy that opened up the computer, the dating sites. Check out where those girls are from.
Why?
Just to see if it's local or if he's just,
she said they're kind of far away, so he's probably just intriguing.
Okay, yeah, that's I've had that too, where he just looks far away.
All right, buddy.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Bob in Wisconsin has a little advice. That's what the good thing about the Jim Norton advice program, as I call it. I allow other people to help each other, which makes me not as legally culpable. Bob in Wisconsin, what's your advice for the guy with the condom problems?
Hey, Jimmy. The small bit of advice that I do have is the guy ought to just try jacking off a couple times a week with a condom on.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of get used to it, and then it's not such a mental block every time he goes to fuck her. He's already got that in his head that he can use it and do it with that.
Good idea. There you go. I've heard that idea before. I've actually tried it and I forgot. And what happened? I jerked off soft. But hopefully for this guy it'll work. Good idea. Okay.
All right, Jimmy. See you later.
Yeah, bye. Now, Dan in New York is a psychologist who might be able to help with the condom issue. So what's up, Dan? What do you think? Because this is one
Jim.
that a lot of guys have.
The last guy touched on it, but as you said, if you jump right into jerking off with condoms on, sometimes you're not even going to be able to get a rod in the first place. So the same thing you do when you're trying to teach a complex behavior to a dog or whatever, what you do is you just take the condoms and put them near your laptop while you jerk off. And then after that, start coming in the condom, but jerk off without it. And then eventually go to jerking off with the condom. Okay. And by that point, your sexual impulse is so strongly paired with the condom itself that achieving the erection with a condom when a female's around shouldn't be as much of a difficulty.
Okay, good idea. Thank you very much, Dan.
You're welcome, man. Love what you do, bro, and admire how you're staying the middle ground with the Opie and Anthony thing.
Yeah, I kind of have to. It's everyone, people picking sides, But, you know, when you know guys as well as I know both of them, like there's a lot of people that are really mad at Opie, who are fans and like, why did you just leave, you know? And it's like, you guys, a lot of people out there, don't understand too, like me just leaving Opie because I love Anthony and I do love Anthony is easier said than done. I mean, this is the guy who gave me a fucking start in radio. You know what I mean? Like Ant signed on for it, but I mean, Opie really is the one that kind of brought me in and all that stuff. So there's definitely a loyalty there to him as a person. And, I would never side against Anthony either. That's why I go on Anthony's show. And anyway, you're saying a compliment and I'm saying thank you. I don't know how to take a compliment. So thank you very much. And
it's all good, man.
They're both my friends. And when your two friends are fighting, it does not make me uncomfortable. I'm a man and they're men and they're arguing and they're getting it out. I want to see them do it in the same room on the radio and talk it out. I really do. Even if it hurts, I want to see it because it'd be the most compelling shit. I'd be happy to sit outside the room and just listen to that. All right, buddy. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. See ya.
All right. Goodbye. Let's see here. Oh boy, Chris in Washington, your new wife doesn't like banging. Oh no. Did you know that before you married her, Chris?
Pretty regular, good sex life when we were dating.
You had one or no?
We did have a normal sex life, but normal for me is a lot different than normal for her because she got out of a marriage. You know, she has a couple of kids, and I was single and really. You know, I got a little bit of game, and I was really taking advantage of it and really experimenting with a lot of stuff. And now here I'm, you know, in my 40s, and I'm trying to get laid once a week, where that used to just be a Tuesday afternoon.
So was she fucking you more before you got married?
Yeah, of course.
They always do that. I don't know what happens when you get married, man. What is it? And there's women that will complain about this too, but I've heard it, 12, 20 times more from men. What is it when you get married that women don't want to fuck? Like, have you gotten heavier? Is your hygiene any different? If it's not, maybe you have to ask her, what's the problem?
Here's the thing. Here's what I say. I say, if somebody is asking you to eat your pussy, why would you say, no, I don't want that, when if you're asking me for a blowjob, I think I'd turn that down, once in my life.
Let me ask you a question. Do you are you clean shaven totally?
No, just a little bit of hair,
Okay, maybe your face is rubbing her pussy and hurting it.
Oh, no facial hair, no.
Oh, that's right, your face. Oh shit, sorry. No, let me ask you a question. Do you are you clean shaven totally?
No, just a little bit of hair,
Okay, maybe your face is rubbing her pussy and hurting it.
Oh, no facial hair, no.
Oh, that's right, your face. Oh shit, sorry. No, because sometimes men don't think of that. They have chin hair, and you got your fucking chin right in the cleft of her box, and you're ripping it up. Are you good at eating pussy?
If I'm not clean shaven, then she can't do it because she's so sensitive down there. But I feel like I'm pretty good at sex. Like I say, I've been around the block a lot of times, and just the experimenting and girls that have wanted to do all kinds of things, but then I didn't marry them. I married I want to say a girl, but shit, man, we got 40 years left.
Yeah, I know you do, but you're gonna have to talk to her, dude. Like, you really have to sit down. I always suggest that people don't fucking yell at each other when they do this shit. Because the times I've talked about sex to women, they're usually pretty receptive about it, but it can always be like during dinner or just while you're having coffee sometime and go, look, we're not having as much sex. Is everything cool? And see what she says. Maybe sometimes it takes a while to get it out of them, but I think you got to ask. You can't just build up resentment and then you're going to start wanting to fuck somebody else.
Jim, it reminds me of that Annie Hall when they're in the counseling and Woody Allen said, we barely have sex, only like 3 times a week. And then she says, we have sex all the time, like 3 times a week.
Oh, my God. What a great line. The Woody Allen was a fucking genius. It really is a great way of looking at it. But, yeah, maybe that's enough for her. I would just talk to her. And maybe just be gentle and, like, point at your crotch and then point at another girl and go, if you don't want that to happen, start coughing up the puss.
I'm going to do that. We're having lunch at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'm going to do that.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. I don't know who the fuck that is. That's my home phone. And what happens is these stupid telemarketers call me, and I don't know what they want. Thank God I didn't lie about where I was. Imagine if I lied and said, like, right now I'm in a cool studio in L.A. Oh, wait, that's a home phone sound. All right, who the fuck is it? Let's see, Nick in Long Island. You're dating a recovering alcoholic. It's causing issues with your family and friends. Why? Hello? Hey, Nick, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been dating this recovering alcoholic for about a year and a half-ish. She's sober for about 8 months, and my parents don't agree with me dating her. My brother doesn't agree with me dating her.
Why?
I love her. She's a great girl. I just feel like she's a little misunderstood. She's met the family and all that stuff.
Wait, was she drunk? Was she drinking when she met them?
Well, she got sober in the middle of us dating, so we met her a couple times before. She was, before she was drinking. Then after they met her, then they really didn't agree with me, dating her. So
well, you're a grown up, and they don't have to agree. Is she doing okay though? Like, is there any legitimacy to them going like there's something wrong with her, or has she gotten a lot better since she's in recovery?
Not at all. She's 9 months sober. She's living in Brooklyn right now. She's a great girl. She's doing great. She's committed to recovery. Part two of the question is, I also kind of feel like in the back of my head, like I could see myself with this girl for a long time, but there's always that like little thing in the back of my head, like if she starts drinking again, like what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Very true. That's a fear with a lot of people, and it is kind of a chance you take. But I understand why you'd be nervous. But again, a recovering person who's actually doing well and is moving forward in life is probably a lot less of a risk than the average wacko to do other shit wrong. So, you're not going to get married yet, so why don't you just cross that bridge when you come to it? Because anybody can just become an alcoholic, too, by drinking too much. You could marry a girl who hardly drinks, and then she starts, and 6 years later, she's fucking drunk, drives into a pole. Like, there's no way to predict what's going to happen anyway. So, you're not dating her for your family. You're only dating her for you.
Exactly.
So, I would suggest that.
All right, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Okay, bye. Let's see here. How about Tim in Long Island? Good question. What do you say to your doctor? What's up, Tim?
Hey, Jimmy. How are you, man?
Good.
So I have no problem getting it up the first time I have sex with my girl, but a lot of times you want to go again pretty quick, and I don't have that recovery. You guys got me thinking about it on the show yesterday. I don't have that good recovery like I did when I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
So I want to get something, but technically I don't have erectile dysfunction, so I don't really know how to approach it with my doctor, how to go about asking for it.
Lie. Fucking tell him you do. What's the matter with you? Who are you fucking?
You just tell him you can't get it up, and
yeah, who are you fucking? Oscar honest? If he's gonna say, "Do you have erection problems?" No, I don't. Just lie.
All right.
Make sure your heart's in good shape, though. You don't want to fuck around. Make sure your heart's okay.
My heart's good. So in terms of the dosages, I know there's a couple different dosages. I mean, what do you? You go right for the max, or you try to get in the middle, or what do you think?
Well, the maximum is the 20 milligrams, I think, and then I just bite it in half when I need it. This way, you have 10, you have twice as many. All right.
Gotcha. Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, you silly goose. Good luck. Let's see. Oh no, Thomas in South Carolina. He asked your wife to 69, and she got offended.
Chew.
What's up, buddy?
Chew.
Are you being silly?
I made up
I do not know what he was talking about. We hung up on him because he's just going chew, and I don't know what that means. I really don't. I'm kind of curious, but he did it twice. He should have done it once and then told me what it meant. Let's see, Brian in San Diego. Your girlfriend's a few years older and not looking to have kids. Looking to have kids, but you're not ready. Yep. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Jim? I've never called into one of these advice programs, but I follow you on Instagram, and I happen to catch you at the right time. So, big fan. Just wanted to say, yeah, man, I've been with my girlfriend for our 6-year anniversary is coming up in May. Okay. She kind of cradle robbed me or whatever you say. How
old are you? How old is she?
I'm 20. She's 4 years older than me. She's 29. I just turned 25.
Yeah, she's got she has a dull ache in that womb. Yep.
So she's really She makes a lot of money. She's really successful. She's an accountant, and she makes like around $80K a year. I make about like 40, okay. And so anyway, that's getting off the point. But she's always talking about, I mean, we fuck without condoms. I've never. I listening to all those other guys with the condom issues. Thank God I heard those, because fuck, man, I don't know. I got some good advice on if anything goes wrong. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I don't know. She just keeps talking about how her quote biological clock is ticking, and she wants to have kids. And I'm fucking 25, man. You know what I mean? That's a big one, dude. Like I'm in my 40s, and the last girl I dated, like, it was very brief, was in her 30s, mid 30s. And even though I'm older than her, she's in that place where a woman is, where her fucking, like, literally every time she sneezes, she can feel a baby kick. Like, she really wants cum. And, that was a big thing for us. And, I stopped seeing her after 2 months, but I still liked her. And, I realized that this is one, she has to go out and find a guy who's ready for that. Because all that's going to happen if you don't, like, this is why Opie is doing well with his kids, because he wanted kids. He didn't knock up his wife by accident. Like, he wanted to have kids, and they said, okay, let's have kids. Like, they planned it and had kids. Bobby Kelly, wanted a baby. Dawn, his wife, wanted a baby. So what they do? They fucked and had a baby. That's why they're doing great and they're happy. When one wants a baby and one doesn't, it's probably a problem. So I would suggest telling her, I'm not ready. And then if she moves on, you got to let her go, man. That's it. See, like, I mean, this is straight up the love of my life. I'm literally probably going to be proposing to her. And okay. She kind of might, she might already be knowing that within the next, like, 6 to 8 months. I've already gotten her a promise ring and all that shit. And, I don't plan. I really would love to not see any other girl for the rest of my life. But who knows what's going to happen on down the line. But I mean, I'm not completely against having a kid. It's not like, no, I'm like, I want to have kids with her. She's she's gorgeous. She's half Japanese, half French Canadian. She's fucking beautiful. So I would love to have kids with her. It's just, and I work in a hospital. And so, let me ask you a question. Hold on, let me cut you off. How long are you willing to wait? And how long, like, when could you be ready, and how long is she willing to wait? I don't know how long she's willing to wait. I would guess, if my best guess is how long, maybe 32, 33, somewhere around there. But you'll be 28 by then. You might be ready. And you said she's the love of your life. So could you be ready in 2 years? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think if it were up to me, I would want to have a kid when I'm 30, 29, somewhere around there. Let's just say you're 27 when you do, or 27, almost 28. You're doing it 2 years earlier than you want to. But believe me, she's doing it 2 years later than she wants to. So you both kind of compromised a little bit, and you're with the love of your life. I mean, you're crazy about this girl, so you want to stay with her. So if you wait a couple of years, she wants it now. You want it when you're 30. Yeah. The best compromise is like 2.5 years. So why don't you say to yourself, if you're ready and you want to do it, hey, this is a couple of years before I thought I'd be ready, but it will make her really happy, and I know I'm going to have kids with her because I do love her. It's not like you don't want kids at all. You just want to wait 2 more years. Why don't you say, look, I don't want her to be 35 or 36 when she has them. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, because with, I mean, this whole, like, my generation of kid, like, all my friends and stuff, they're not really having kids. Like, they're all waiting and partying and having fun. The kids my age. Yeah. No, I was just saying the kids, like, my age when they're 25. Like, but I mean, back in the day, like, her mom, she had 3 kids popped out by the time she was fucking 23 or 22. Right. You know what I mean? Well, it's different. If you're planning if you're planning on having the kids anyway, what the hell? Yeah, I hear you, man. Try it. Could I add on one more thing? Okay, sweet pie. All right, thank you so much. The last, I don't even know how many times. I know you're a fucking freak and you like to watch porn and all that shit, and so do I. Yes, I do. Who doesn't, especially when they're in their fucking 20s? And the last 15, 16, 17 times We fucked. I haven't been able to come, and I don't know if that's because I've had a couple drinks in me or what it was. Which most likely that's what I'm maybe just lying or telling myself is that I've had some whiskey dip. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been able to, so I don't know if that's what it is or if there's something else going on. I don't know. Have you ever had anybody else like talk to you about having problems? Not, you know what I mean? We've been together, like I said, it's about to be 6 years. So I don't know.
I would say just quit the porn for a little while. It'll probably come back. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
All right. And let me answer a couple of questions on Twitter. Again, I said I asked Twitter. A lot of Anthony questions coming in. Franco says, how tough was yesterday's show, and will you continue to go on Ant's show? It was tough because I'm watching, you guys think it's hard for you in a way. It's like, hey, I'm watching two good friends of mine go at it. But I kind of know the backstory, so I'm not surprised that they have tension. And it wasn't as tough as I would have thought. You know what I mean? It was like, look, it's hard watching cry. I mean, a little, even it wasn't a tremendous breakdown. It was just like that momentary thing men have once in a while where you have a nice memory. But it wasn't as hard as I would have thought because I'm kind of prepared for this. I could see it getting ready to go off on Twitter and shit like that. So, and would I go on Ant's show? Of course I'm going to go on Ant's show. I absolutely am. I will not choose between one or the other. I have every intention on continuing to go on Anthony's show. He's never asked me not to go on Anthony's show. He's never said, like, why are you going on there? He knows. So, I am absolutely going to go on. And, Dan says, Jim, will I do everything possible to get Anthony back? And do I regret not taking a stand last summer? I don't regret anything about what I did in that way, Dan, because it wasn't like Anthony was kicked out and Opie was kicked out and I chose one. There was a difference. There's really not much I can do. I don't have that kind of power at Sirius. And if I could get Anthony back on the show, Anthony would be back on the show. There's not a doubt in my mind that that's what I want. I do not have that kind of power at Sirius. Let's see here. Nick in New Jersey, been married for a week and already thinking about threesomes and group sex. I hear you, Nick. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
What's up, Jimmy? Yeah, man. So just a little backstory. When I was 25, 24, I was dating a girl and we were on a swinger website. Actually, do you remember H Cup Jane from the O&A show?
Oh, yeah, I like her.
Yeah, we met at a bar in Red Bank with her boy toy, and she kind of turned us onto it. Anyway, a couple months later, we talked about it, and we met a couple in Brooklyn and had the most ridiculous sex of our lives. Like, one minute we're having a drink at the bar, the next minute this girl's going down on my girlfriend, and she's sucking this other dude's dick, and I'm banging this girl, my girl.
What were you saying there? Were you putting your peck over the guy?
No.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so that was years ago. And then I met, a couple of years later, I met a different girl. We've been together ever since. We recently got married, and she is plain Jane in the bed sexually. Won't watch porn, won't try anything new. And
that's your question. Why did you not that she's not a great girl, but why did you go down that road knowing that you're a bit of a perv?
I love her, man. I thought maybe I can't tell you why I married her because I married her for a million different reasons.
Sure.
I guess I didn't understand the power of the perv.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the deal. The only time I was not faithful in that regard is when one time I was in D.C. and I brought a girl back, and me and my buddies wound up doing like a gangbang on her. Like,
So hold on.
You
only cheated once in 4 years.
No. I'm just saying it was times like that. It was like,
oh, okay.
It was when group sex was involved. It wasn't like I went to a bar and met a girl and she gave me a blowjob in my car. I never hired a prostitute. It was never like that. It was
You have
only
three choices. You have three choices. Doesn't matter. Not to interrupt you. I only have 4 minutes left. You have three choices. You give up the group sex. You cheat on her and have group sex. That's two of your choices. The third one is you get her to participate like your ex-girlfriend would. Now, I know that that's a tall order. Porn is the only way to start. Does she know you used to have threesomes?
Yes. She knows. She knows all. She knows when we were broken up on hiatus for a little while when we were apart that I also participated in it. Like she knows 100% everything that has happened. Like everything.
Except for the stuff that you did while you're married.
No. I I never cheated.
No, when you were with her as a girlfriend. The stuff when you were.
Yeah, once we got engaged, there was no fooling around.
How many years has that been?
It's been 15 months since we got engaged, and we've just recently gotten married.
So let me ask you a question. So for like a year and a half, you really haven't done anything extracurricular. Maybe
off a lot.
That's fine, but maybe the reason you're panicking about it now is because you feel like the door is now locked because you're married. Like I said before, sometimes the commitment fucks us up, but you went a year and a half without it. So maybe you could incorporate the idea of it into your sex. It's not always that great doing stuff. And there usually does come a time where most people settle down and go like, all right. I mean, I would just try to get my wife into porn. I wish that girl didn't hang up. I wanted to go to her next. Okay. Sorry, but that's okay. I only got a minute left, but I appreciate it, man. Okay.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Try to get her to watch porn. All right. Last one I'm going to be able to have is Dan in Ohio. Your fucking future mother-in-law is giving you shit about your career change. Oh no, what's the old bitch saying?
Oh, well, I'm pursuing a career change now.
What do you want to do?
I work for one of the utility companies back home. I'm trying to go into law enforcement, become a police officer.
Okay.
And it's something I've always been passionate about. I've always wanted to do. And before I got sober, I just had no fucking ambition to do anything. You know, now I'm sober and I'm pursuing my goals and I want to do something to better, you know, my community, my area, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
But every time, like, I see her or my fiance talks to her, it's always, Dane doesn't want to do that. He should do this instead. Or, well, you don't want to do that. Try this. Or she's always, like, taking jabs, and you don't want to do that. Or you only want to do that for some stupid reason that's far off from the truth. And it's just, I'm getting to the point where I'm running out of, you know, nice ways to get it across. I don't want to tell her to shut the fuck up, you know, because...
Yeah. Do you talk to her? Respectfully and say, "Look, I just want to do this"?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She may change. She may change the way she feels once you start doing it. But who cares what your mother-in-law says, really? Honestly, I mean, I know it's a pain in the ass. I wouldn't say go fuck yourself. You just got to tolerate her. Maybe you could talk to your wife about it, your future wife, and go, "Look, she's getting on me." And maybe your wife could talk to her.
That's smart.
You know.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Good luck. All right, guys. Thank you so much for calling. I'm sorry I did not get to everyone, but I appreciate you calling, all right?
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real.
Just kind of clean up. It helps a little bit. You know, it doesn't help if you have stage 4 leukemia. I don't think leukemia goes in stages. Someone asked me on Twitter, have I ever banged Rihanna? No, I didn't. You mean the singer? No. We jerked off together in the car once. She wanted to have sex, but I said no. I would not be a party to that. And we just jerked off together, and it was a lot of fun. And Kyle wants to know if Chip will ever have an advice show. He's a great comic, very witty. I already do. People just ask me questions, and I just fucking spit out jokes. Laughter's the best medicine. Okay, let's see. Jacob in Staten Island. Very biblical name. You sent the wrong text to the wrong girl. Oh, Jacob, we've all done it. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jim, how's it going? I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
First of all, I have to agree with cleaning up sometimes when there's nothing else to do. It's like therapy.
Yeah, it really is, right?
Yes, definitely. I feel better. I feel like my thoughts are more sorted out because there's no message, and then you feel less cluttered in your mind as well, you know?
Yep.
All right, so here's my thing. I'll give you a little background fast. I called you a couple months back. I was telling you about the strip club.
Is not a doctor. He's not an expert. He's not even a good person. The views, opinions, advice, and humor of Jim Norton does not reflect those of any doctor, of SiriusXM, of Opie Radio, or anyone else. They are solely those of Jim Norton, Lyle Chipperson, Edgar Mellencamp, Paul Hargis, and whoever else lives in that chinless head of his. If any of this advice goes wrong, you are the asshole who called a comedian instead of a doctor.
An icon in comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is The Jim Norton Show.
afraid of friends.
Hello. It certainly is the Jim Norton Show. I'm sitting in my apartment. It's nice and neat now. I always feel better when I have a nice, neat apartment. I feel like my life is a little more together. Clutter fucks me up mentally. So that's one thing you can do for yourself. I'm itching my ear. Stupid, and I'm sorry. And it won't happen again. And like, you are early enough in the relationship, and it was only texting where you may be able to kind of get away with it and just eat a little bit of shit and say you're sorry. But that happens, dude. I've done that. You know, I've made those mistakes. I think a lot of people have. You got to be so careful. So I think if you're new enough in the relationship, you might be able to survive it. But just tell her, look, I fucked up and I'm really sorry, and it will not happen again.
Yeah, I was basically on about 2 hours worth of sleep, and I was at my job texting like an idiot, and that's why it happened in the first place.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whatever the reason is, it's happened to all of us. So that's what I would do. Dude, just be really careful, and just try not to do that again. All right.
Yeah, I just mean like kissing ass and being nicer since then, and it seems to be making things better. But now I got to lay back a little,
Yeah, you fucked up. So now just be nice.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Jim. I'm a big fan of the show, man.
Thank you, you little flower. Ashley in Boston, your fiance's on dating sites. Oh, no. How long have you been with this fella?
So, hi, how are you?
I'm good, sweetie. How are you?
I'm good. So we have been together about 5 years, lived together about 3 years, actually just got engaged Christmas. And this...
I was trying to like stay away from that, interact with how I wanted to interact with more real girls and just keep like persisting in doing that and not getting into that. I don't know if you remember me.
Vaguely.
Yeah, so basically it's this. I stayed away from that. I did good with that. And I dated some girls, and I just started dating a girl for a month, and things were going well, and I was getting closer faster because I'm a douchebag, but she finally started to get closer to me, and within 2 days of that, I sent her a text that I was texting this girl from this website, and I not only sent her a text of me, like, telling her I'm going to hang out with the other girl, but a picture of our conversation. So I sent 2 horrible texts to the wrong person.
Wow.
And now she's pretty much, like, mad at me, but still talking to me.
How long are you dating this new girl?
For about a month.
Okay. Are you willing to not talk to the other girl?
I actually met up with that girl anyway just to see what would happen, and she turned out to be a busybody that seemed like she was into everybody else's business, so there's going to be nothing with me and her.
Meaning, maybe you could tell this girl, look, I've been single for a while. I hadn't met this other girl. I fucked up. I did something really stupid.
This year has come up a couple times where I have caught him, like, texting other women, and now this morning, I did the thing you're not supposed to do. His computer is open. I said, oh, look at the history. And there's a dating site on there, and, I'm crushed.
No, the thing you're not supposed to do is leave your computer open. You didn't do anything wrong. Rookie made the mistake. And maybe he wanted to get caught, because I got busted on an instant message like that. Maybe he's panicking because you're going to get married. Sometimes people fucking freak out when the big commitment is coming. Has he fucked anybody, do you think? Or seen anybody?
Well, that's the other thing, too. And, from what I have seen when I've read all these things, he's looking for people in other areas of the country. I really think it is just sexual from what I've seen. And I know, I've seen your stand-up. You're always like, this kind of stuff isn't really a big deal. It's not actual cheating, but it still really hurts. And I don't know. I'm just looking for advice kind of from your point of view. It just, how do you separate it? Maybe, is it just sex? Am I being stupid? I don't know.
No, you're not being stupid. No, nobody wants to realize that somebody has been doing something like that. You're not stupid.